All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the JD Photo Podcast. Today, we have Belle V. Now, Belle V is a branding and corporate photographer. She specializes working with women who are in business, and her branding content is always centered around their personality. So she does a lot of personality-based content, which I'm all about. I personally believe... personal that content nowadays needs to be highly centered around your personality, so you're able to actually build relationships with people online. So Belle knows what she's doing. I think we align very deeply on a lot of things, so we're going to have a really great conversation, dive into business and mindset, marketing, and also the content that she produces and who she works with. So Belle, do you want to introduce yourself and tell me when you first picked up a camera, and I'll check if anyone's jumping in.
Awesome.
Yeah.
James, thanks so much for having me on your
My
podcast.
My pleasure.
So
thanks for coming.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Love being in person.
Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, you just kind of can, I don't know, being on a screen's a little, I think, limiting at times. And so, trying to break that down, I think.
100%. I love that in-person connection.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm Belle V. I'm a personality and brand photographer. When did I pick up a camera? It was actually, my dad was a hobbyist.
Yep.
So we always had cameras lying around. Back then it was obviously analog. And I remember going to my year 6 camp, and I was the person that had, the film camera and was taking photos of my friends. And it's just always been something I've been really interested in, even throughout high school, and my friends were models, so I had subjects who were quite happy for me to photograph them. And then leaving year 12, it was like, what do you want to do? And I wasn't ever really an office type person, and I was playing in a band, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be a photographer and go to uni and see what happens. So I kind of just fell into it. It was more of a hobby rather than this is going to be a
that's
career.
That's how you get into photography, in my opinion. So I started off when I was 14 in high school media, and I was the same. I did a lot of hobby photography, landscape, scenery kind of stuff. Then I went on to university, but at university, it was all about fueling that passion and finding what you were interested in, and taking photos of that and practicing through the love for the craft. And I think doing that made me a really good photographer, because it wasn't work. It was putting time into something that I loved and really refining my craft. And then when I did go professional, it was I had all these skills, and I knew the photography like the back of my hand. And I had to put time into the business side of things, it kind of really sped it up a lot. So definitely think anyone watching, start with your passion, right? And get into photography that way.
Yeah, 100%. I feel for me with uni, it was very much not the technical stuff at all. And we didn't even cover business.
Where did you go to uni?
So, I was like, am I naming and shaming here? This is a long time ago. We're talking 95, but it was ECU.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I feel unless I was skipping those classes where we were doing studio stuff.
The in-law nephew might be a bit stuck with the dog. One sec.
Okay, no worries.
Keep talking, Belle. Just keep going. Yeah.
You want me to chat about my life? It's like the story of the life. Oh, I love it. If you're on watching, definitely pop a question down. I would love to answer it. Let me know where you're tuning in from, who you are, if you're doing photography yourself, what sort of genre you do. It's such a wild ride, isn't it? Going from being a hobbyist and just thinking that you could never do it for a living. That's something that I've sort of struggled with, and I know James and I will probably touch on that a little bit, but really just I think doing it for the fun of photography is just such an important part of it. We'll see if anyone's answered any question.
We actually don't have any viewers in here at the moment. Where you guys at?
Everyone's sleeping.
No, usually I put a timer up to notify people. But I had my micro SD's missing, so I can't do that. Sorry, guys. I have an English Bull Terrier who's just an absolute maniac at the best of times. He just was barking. All right, let's get back into it. Definitely start with passion. So bird photography, you said, was it? Or wildlife?
No.
No, sorry, I might have misheard you.
That's okay. This is actually a common thing that we get. It's so funny. But I was one of the first birth photographers.
Birth. Okay.
Birth. So like women having babies.
Yeah.
And
wow. Okay.
yeah. So I started literally, there was only a couple of birth photographers when I started in that genre. And it was just huge. I'd had my second child and I was like, it was the season I was in, you know. I wasn't really interested in wedding photography or anything else, and it was like I wanted to be a birth photographer.
It's a very empowering space, you know. I can see how you've kind of, you know, tied all those together and ended up where you are. What was that experience like, you know, entering, you know, this kind of really intimate kind of, but also, you know, a vulnerable space with, you know, all these women and, you know, capturing that. Wow.
Yeah. It was wild. Like, honestly, I have that many stories. Like, we don't have enough time on the podcast for all the things that, you know, I've experienced in a birth space. But it was just, I think for me, I'm a documentary photographer at heart. And I love anything that's raw, wild, messy, chaotic. Like Nan Golden is one of my favorite photographers.
Nan Golden. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, and I think because I'm just obsessed with what she has done in the photography space, it really hit home that, you know, this is about crafting a space where it's just like humans. It's like a human experience. And birth is the most intimate, vulnerable like thing you can ever do, really. It
is an incredibly vulnerable space.
There's no masks.
Like, there's no masks, nothing covering you as well. You kind of, but to have people trust you enough and for you to be able to build that rapport with people to let them, you know, or allow you to come into the room with them, that's pretty impressive. I just pull it a little bit closer so I get that nice bass.
Sure. You want to, it's all about the bass,
it's all about the bass. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think what you said about trust is so important because I think as photographers, a lot of time we can get really caught up in the technical aspects of how it looks rather than how it feels. And sometimes, especially if you're maybe, you know, doing editorial or in the fashion space or commercial space, you've got a model in front of you and I have seen photographers literally treat them like a piece of meat. Like we forget that they're a human being and, you know, they have feelings and they need drinks and they need breaks and all of that. And I think there's nothing more intimate than having a beautiful connection with whoever you're shooting. So like, how do you build that rapport? How do you build that trust? And for me, it all starts before you even get into the studio or on location. It all starts before then.
So what's that process like for you? What do you start with in order to begin building rapport with your clients? I guess that's the prospects.
Yeah, that's a great question. Because my thing is all presence over perfection. And so I use social media to really connect to my audience. So a lot of people, they watch what I'm doing. Like I have a weekly live. I show up at networking events. I'm always on stories and just engaging with people. You can message me at any time. It's that I'm here and that consistency. And I've seen a lot of photographers, they're massive, like they're high profile photographers, but they don't really engage and they don't build that strong connection with their audience. And I think that if you can be your total self, like show up as you, so people get to hear you, they know what you're into outside of photography as well. They kind of go, oh my God, I really love that Belle chick, or she's not for me, I'm going to unfollow. And that's what you want. I'm like less about being for everyone and really going, cool, I just need to be authentic to me. I need to be like show up, I need to swear, I need to do all the things that make me me, and then people either love it or hate it. And that has been my biggest kind of game changer, is because I'm magnetizing people who love that sort of vibe and then I'm repelling people who will never buy from me anyway, right?
It's a very modern approach to marketing. I think you remind me of Gary Vee a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you watch him? And do you get
I do, but not a lot. Like he's always on my feed.
Yeah.
But he's great.
it seems like you follow a similar line of thinking to him. You know, where like you have that almost the jab right hook, I think is his famous phrase in his book, where you're putting content out. Those are your jabs, and you know, you're reaching so many different types of people, but not everyone's going to buy from you. But you know, the attention is the asset that you're kind of building over time, and then when you get enough attention, you're going to begin to attract the people who actually connect with you, and when people connect with you, they purchase from you, and those 100%. Are the people you're trying to relate with. So I kind of get that's kind of what you're doing with your content, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's only so far I think that like photos can take you, because people really want to see what's going on in your life. Like photography is one of those things we don't think it's very exciting, like, but if we're doing a recce or a location scout or, behind the scenes in the studio, people actually like want to see that. And, when I was like educating photographers, it was all about like, show up, tell everyone what you're doing, show them like, it's not just about the final product. And, you would know this from like showing your content online, people love the before and afters, like all the raw edits, and then what you've done, the raw versus the edit, or the moment versus, the final product.
People are nosy.
I'm nosy. I want to see that shit too,
We're all trying to kind of connect with other people. I think we're living in a world of disconnect.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I am so like on that path, and I actually think social media, as much as we can connect people on the other side of the world in a split second, which is incredible, I also think it's that phone is like detaching us from
it certainly is,
in-person and real life connection. And I just think we're losing a lot of that in our sessions as well, like just when you're connecting with people.
I agree. I think the phone has been a blessing and a curse for society as a whole, right? Where it is causing people to become disconnected through like this hyper connectivity, right? Where we're all like linked together across the globe. But at the same time, because of that, we're spending significantly less amounts of time actually having face-to-face interactions. So what I'm trying, because a lot of content that you see online is hyper fabricated, right? I personally think that's a thing of the past now, because people are beginning to realize how fabricated and curated and alive social media actually is. So what I'm trying to do with my content now is make it raw, make it authentic, podcast, live stream it, show people who you are, build relationships with people, and make them feel like we're actually relating with the audience, which we are, and we're talking with you, and this is who we are, and which I'm trying to attract people who like me, and then from there, those are my clients, and I'm trying to build relationships with people online, and through those relationships bring them in, and actually work with them in person, and so that's what I'm trying to do. I completely agree. I think organic content is just such a fantastic way to promote yourself, to market yourself, if you do it from that basis of being authentic. I think there's no point lying about who you are anymore, because people are going to eventually see through it. You need to really be authentic with who you are, and then you're going to attract the people who like you, right?
So true. Like integrity is one of my biggest values, and so I think for me, I'm just going to show up.
I'm going to try and bring the audience in as well. So we have two people in here at the moment. Does anyone have any questions for Belle? Belle's an expert in personal branding. She's been in the industry for so long. I was born in 1996.
I was at uni, like rolling my own smokes in 1995.
So if you guys actually have any questions, someone's just said, "Hi Belle, love hard eyes." So you got a fan in there. So please ask us questions. Thanks so much for popping in and ask and contributing. Please ask us Belle a question. She's full of knowledge, so we're about to really dive into it. So organic content and being authentic. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I think it's just I don't know how to be anyone else. Like this is me. And I also like, thanks for bringing up how old I am. Because
sorry.
No, I love that.
I was saying I was 90. You got to respect. You got to, because that's, you know, that to be in the industry for so long is incredible, Belle. Like seriously, it's not an easy industry to be in. It's like,
it's definitely not. And I feel like I've had so many different identity shifts and changes.
Have you ever had a burnout episode?
Burnout?
Burnout.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And we can talk about that at the end.
Yeah. I think for me as well, like I am really lit up by what I do and I can't fake that. So at in the beginning when I was a birth photographer, I would be, you know, you talk to people and they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a photographer. And they're like, oh my gosh, can you photograph like my grandma's 90th birthday? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And they're like, but it's a job. And I'm like, yeah, I don't do that. Or can you come to the football team and like do, you know, event photos? I'm like, no. So for me, I mean, I had 2 kids under 2 at that time, so I didn't have a lot of time or capacity or energy, but I knew what I didn't want to do.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were very selective with the
very
jobs you
selective.
take. Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. But what happened is because of that, I niched down and everyone knew me as a birth photographer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it seems almost counterintuitive to go, I'm just going to do one genre of something, right, and be the go-to. But what happens is it's almost like a GP versus a specialist. Like if something was wrong with your heart, are you going to go see a GP? Or are you going to go and see the top cardiologist, right?
Yeah, I'm with you.
I was like, is that right? Is that what a cardiologist is, a heart specialist? Because that's literally what can happen. And I'm not saying you don't try and do lots of different genres. I'm not saying that at all. I think it's really cool, especially if you're starting out, to try weddings, to try family, to try all sorts of different genres because you'll narrow in on what really gets you excited. But I think for me, I have just gone right in on every genre that I've done and gone, cool, that's it. That's all I do is brand now.
Yeah, I think that's a really smart way to do it. I'm a little bit more diversified, I have to say. I think there's definitely a massive benefit from being a specialist. I think the benefit mostly comes from the marketing side. I say it's a marketing gimmick though, and what I mean by that is it's a bit of an illusion because when you're positioning yourself as a specialist or an expert in one area, you're not saying that you're incapable of doing other types of photography.
Yes.
You are capable of doing other types of photography, and you're more than, you know, you got the skills. You're probably going to do the other types of photography to a very high degree, but you're positioning yourself as an expert in one area, which gives you the power of being exclusive, and then you're able to price yourself higher. So that's why I say it's a bit of an illusion. Right.
Yeah.
So a gimmick is something that's an illusion. You're kind of concealing your capability, so you're able to, you know, position yourself as a higher authority in a certain area.
Yeah. I think it's also good for like SEO as well, and also for creating content.
Absolutely.
So,
what I'm really interested in, because I study a lot of business and a lot of brands and how they use this concept of specialization across the broad. And something that I've realized is a lot of big, massive businesses usually are layered. Right. You have, so you think about Coca-Cola. Who owns Coca-Cola? What other brands do they have? And then you start to break that down, right? And you go Sprite, Coca-Cola, Fanta. They're all specialists, but they're all owned by the same person. The same thing happens with our clothing stores. So you look at brands like Tara Cash, YD, Connor, all owned by the same company. But they're all targeting different demographics.
They are.
And yes,
smart.
So I'm really interested in that, and I'm thinking, how many realistically, where's the point of diminishing returns for being a specialist? How many weddings can I take a year before doing more weddings are going to actually benefit my skill? Is that 20? Is it 30? Is it 40? What's that point where I don't want to do anymore because I'm going to start to burn out?
Yeah.
And I can start to maybe look at a different avenue and take maybe 1 or 2 specializations and have different marketing strategies for each entity.
Yep.
That's what I'm really interested in. So I'm really like everything I do in my business, I'm always trying to think, how can I benefit my client in the best way possible? How can I take enough weddings that I'm going to be the best version I can without burning out? How can I, because realistically, weddings are very hard to make a career in, and I'm very aware of that. So now I'm going, what can be my bread and butter during the week as well?
Yes.
So a lot of people usually take dual jobs. They go, there might be a teacher, or there might be a social worker, or there might be a counselor, and then they shoot their weddings on the weekend. So I'm trying to find a way to have both. And specialize in maybe one or two things. So that's what I'm really interested in.
I think that's really smart, because with a lot of weddings as well, it's weekend work.
It's weekend work.
So you're right. You've got all this time and energy.
And seasonal. So
And seasonal.
Yeah.
See, with what I do, it's very much midweek only, and it's all year round. So with brand it's
a fantastic industry. That's why I'm trying to get into it. But I think I would never in a million years have my branding business and my wedding business under one entity.
Exactly.
Never.
Yeah.
Because
completely different.
Completely different. It's a different style. It's a different aesthetic. It doesn't. We have an audience interaction, so I'll bring that. It doesn't mean I'm not capable of doing both, but it means as a marketing person, as a person marketing the entity, I need to be responsible in how I structure those businesses so they can actually attract the right clients, so I can build relationships. And doing that's difficult. I don't think what I'm trying to set up a business with staff who are supporting me and they're on the books. Like if you're a sole entrepreneur and you want to be an individual independent worker, what Belle is saying is completely correct. You don't want to diversify because you're going to be stretched too thin. You're not going to be able to do it. But what I'm trying to do, where I have people working as an editor for me, so I can not even outsource, but in-house get someone to do it to a very similar style. I think there's the capabilities there of being able to start to look at setting up a couple of different things. But we'll tie back to this at the end, because something that I'm really worried about is burning out. So I want to talk about that at the end, and I'm sure you got some advice to give me, because I had a chat with Ryan about it, Ryan Ammon, who's a good friend of mine, who also went to ECU. Same with Simmons, right? And same with...
he was at TAFE.
And Duncan Barnes.
Yep.
I want to get Duncan on the podcast. I was with
Duncan, I'm pretty sure. Like, oh my God, that's a while ago. But yeah, James went to TAFE.
On the podcast. Okay, sure.
But I would just want to say, yeah, you're right, because you're B2C, so you're business to client, whereas I'm B2B at the moment. So I'm business to business, which means that I'm working with business people. Tax write-off.
Yes.
Just a completely different ball game. So do we have a question?
We certainly do. I need to find a new position for this. So we have Belle has always... let me put this closer. Sorry, guys. Belle has always championed, encouraged and hyped all of her clients. She nailed personal branding because she gives her clients the confidence to believe in themselves, and she shines in her own right. There was a correction there. You certainly do, Belle. You're really fantastic at energizing people and bringing person. Like when I look at your photos and your portfolio, and you got that bold, dark but bright branding. It's like it's just like it's fantastic the way you've built it and structured it, and then your images, which you look at your images and it's just like that's the person. Like
thank you. That's really important for me. Like branding is everything. Like I think sometimes we forget.
Did you ever study branding?
No, but I have learnt so much. One of my business besties is a brand strategist, so I have received so many nuggets of gold about branding, and now that I'm in that field, I see it so clearly, like what you can do better and what needs work. And for me, personality is everything, because you could go to the same studio. Let's say you've got the same studio, same lighting, set up, same background, same furniture. But how do you connect to the person that's in front of you? We talked about trust, we talked about rapport and getting that connection. For them to just get all their masks down and to actually feel like they are themselves, so you can capture that on camera, right? And I do that. Like I feel like I do that really well because of my background in birth.
Absolutely. being in those vulnerable positions with people has absolutely contributed to your ability to do that. But it's something about your photos, Belle, that's just like, I don't know how to describe it, because while you do build rapport, you still have an ability to bring out the personality in other people. And although, rapport, because, I can build rapport with you in this setting, but that doesn't necessarily mean I can take a photo that summarizes the personality and the business behind a person in one shot. So like, what's your thinking behind constructing an image? Like what do you, because like, I guess the way to think about it is, if I'm coming to a personal branding session, I might not even know my business personality. Like, how do you bring that out of people?
So it all starts beforehand. So we have a questionnaire, we have a Zoom chat, I create a Pinterest board, or they help as well, just to really tap into different colors. If they have a strategy done, they send that to me as well, so I can really sink my teeth into, tone of voice, all of the other things that is the background or the blueprint to a business. And I just think that photography can be really intuitive as well. It is that storytelling aspect. So how can I bring out different expressions, or how can we use styling and what people are wearing to express that part of their business? I'm really intentional with props. You won't see a lot of props in my photos. Props being like journals or podcast mics or, whatever they use for their business. So it is all about the person for me, and really bringing that out. And I don't know, my intention is always to have fun. Let's have fun. Let's feel like we have been best mates, and we've got music on, there's drinks, there's food, there's just it's a hype session for me.
Absolutely. So you're creating a comfortable environment, you're bringing people into it, but you're doing your research before. So you kind of have an idea going into it. Right. Yeah. And clothing's big then?
Huge.
Colour's big?
Huge. Oh my gosh. The first time that
Do you ever make anyone dye their hair or something for the shoot?
No, but
Come to the shoot with red hair.
Yeah, please change your whole entire look. Thank you very much. But I have to say here, people say to me, oh my God, I don't normally wear makeup. Do I need makeup, professional makeup? I'm like, no. Is that you? No. If that's not you.
Okay, sure.
Don't invest in a makeup artist, because you're just going to feel uncomfortable.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah. So, I have all sorts of different ranges, from people who are wearing power suits, and we're going to really tap into that future self of them being boss babe, calling in 8 figures, all of that. But then I've got some beautiful humans who are I just want to wear a beautiful, gorgeous skirt, and we're going to do twirls. And it's all about bringing their essence to life.
Beautiful.
You're where was I? Where were you just then? Seems you're on a tangent.
No. I was processing what you were saying, and I really like that. Tyler Brown says a very similar thing. He's trying to come to the essence of the person, and you do it in a capacity in a branding space. He does it in a capacity in a wedding space.
He does. Shout out to Tyler.
Shout out to Tyler.
Work.
Tyler's
so
an OG. He's one of my favorites. He was obviously on the podcast, but Belle, that's fantastic. I really like that. I think coming down to the essence of a person and bringing that out is just such a skill, and being able to do that is really incredible. And I've taken my hat. It's hearing the way you describe photography and hearing the way Tyler's described photography has changed how I shoot enormously.
Wow.
Enormously, because I can get stuck because I'm guilty of the technical trap, very guilty of it, where I can lose focus on actually coming down to the essence of the person. Yeah. So hearing these things and hearing all these amazing photographers like yourself has just completely shifted my mindset as well since starting this podcast. So
wow.
It's really great to hear.
But you can see when someone's relaxed, right? Or when they're
absolutely,
tense.
Absolutely.
So if I know, because it's quite scary, even just in the brand space, to have your photo taken. If I was here right now and we're like, cool, James, let's do some headshots. You're just far out.
Everyone hates the camera.
Oh my
Everyone's
gosh, you bring a camera out.
Yeah.
And so that's why for me, it's not just let's go straight into it. You know, sometimes it's like, okay, let's just drop in. Let's think about why you're doing what you're doing. Let's tap into that, like, just that vision of like how you're impacting other people. Like, what is it that you're doing? Because when you're thinking of the service that you're in, like as in, like, say with me, it's like I'm wanting to help women feel amazing, confident, beautiful, like for them to create an amazing business of their dreams where they can be on TEDx talks, they can be on stages talking to 1 million people. Like that's my kind of intention for what I do, why I do what I do. That's my purpose. So when I'm living in my purpose, I'm not thinking about, oh my gosh, are they going to like my photos? Oh, if I say something that's a bit crass, are they going to think that I'm a weirdo? Oh my gosh, like then you're not in your head because I'm in my purpose. So what I do, this is a little secret, is I try and get my clients to be in their purpose during the photo shoot.
Gotcha.
So thinking about their clients, the impact they're making, what are their 5-year plans? Like what are the goals? What are the things that they're calling in for their dream life? And that's the feeling that I'm creating on set.
That's amazing. The purpose, I like that. That kind of, I'm trying to break that down myself. So it's huge. It's huge. It's a really big word because so you're almost trying to bring out the mission behind someone's business, right?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
When they might not even know it.
But usually I have done all the prep work before we even get to the photo shoot. So I know exactly like what it is that you want to use the photos for or what they're creating.
Gotcha. So maybe you don't want to answer, but so feel free not to, but what are those questions you're asking? What are you trying to ascertain from your pre-meeting and what are you trying to work out with your clients? And guys who've just hopped in, a lot of people jumped in. Belle is an expert in branding photography, guys. I'm going to use that title, expert. She's pretty bloody good.
I'll take it.
Please ask any questions and utilize it. So we're just about to dive into what Belle tries to ascertain in her pre-meetings with her clients to come down to the purpose of why people are doing this photo shoot, which allows her to get just incredible branding shots. So what's your kind of pre-meeting, pre-shoot process?
You can all take notes. No, I ask things like how do you want your brand to feel when people are looking at your photos? What's the feeling behind it? Or if you were listening to someone talking about your business or your brand, what would they be saying about it? Okay. Right? Or if your brand was a person, what personality, like what traits would it have?
Sure. So you're coming down to that, bringing it back to that like personality centered branding.
Yes.
Sure. Do you ever use like those branding? What do you call them? Like people type things, archetypes. Have you heard of that?
Archetypes. Yes, I have heard of them. I don't use that. That's like the rebellion, like the rebel and the.
Yeah, the journeyman, I don't know, the seeps, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I haven't really gone down that path. I think my old copywriter used to use that sort of terminology, which I think is great. Like whatever works though. And, you know, a lot of people will say things like, I don't know how to pose, or I'm really awkward in front of the camera, or I don't know what to wear. And I'm like, that's what I'm here for. Like that is, I help them. Like what I try and do, James, as well, and you would do this with your wedding clients, I'm positive. You think about all the objections, all the things that could stop them from having the best client experience. And I try and bring all of that into their session beforehand as well. So what would the problems like being? Obviously, I deal with business women. They're going to want to know how to look, how to pose, what to wear, where the nearest coffee shop is before the photo shoot, or like all of those sort of things. So I'm always thinking about that from a client experience and the senses.
How can you improve the service? How can you make it more comfortable for the client? Breaking it down, going through, absolutely. I think that's massive.
Communication is massive.
How do you, where do you place communication in that kind of spectrum of things?
Oh, I think it's one of the biggest things because that's how you build the rapport, trust as well. Like that's how you connect with people. If I booked a photo shoot and I didn't hear from my photographer until the day of the session, I would just be like, what is happening right now? Like I would just feel so out of my depth, you know, and that's why I love having a workflow because I have automated emails that go out continually. And it's like, you know, and even on the day, you know, I'll voice note my clients and be like, oh my God, it's shoot day. How you feeling? Are you amazing? Like, let me know if there's anything coming up for you. And so it's just, about making that experience amazing for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I personally think communication's huge as well. The workflows are so important. Studio Ninja workflow. So
I've used it forever. Yeah. How do you rate it with your wedding and event clients?
Studio Ninja's good. There's always things that can be better though. You always find limitations with what you want to do. I use a combination of Studio Ninja and Calendly. I'm finding the more that I dive into Studio Ninja, the more I'm kind of just relying on it. It's a fantastic software. I think the next thing I need to do is upgrade to PicTime Gallery so I can like link it in with Studio Ninja because PixieSet's not linked in.
I use PixieSet, but that's only because I've, old dog here. But
I know, me too.
I've used it forever. So I'm like, to change to another sort of program.
It's tricky with programs, isn't it? Because, I had a problem where I was not using a very good accounting software and then I just changed over to Xero a few months ago and it was
game changer.
It's a game changer, but the process, like just if you are a photographer, just buy the good shit to begin with. Don't cheap out. Buy the good stuff. Start with Xero, start with Studio Ninja. Like that's one thing that I made a mistake is I try to find like
the cheapest option.
Not necessarily the cheapest, but things that are affordable and maybe you just go with the best, stick with the best, and then your business is just gonna grow so much more because your time frees up. It really does. And then you don't get stuck like me trying to migrate to Xero and stuff. It can be really challenging. Studio Ninja is great. I think the workflow is really important. Touching base with your client on a regular basis. Sending that automatic reminder, so I'll send them a reminder of, hey, your questionnaire, finish your questionnaire, or hey, your weddings are in 2 weeks. This is, have you done this? Hey, your wedding's tomorrow. After the wedding, this is the process, So you're just touching base with them regularly to put them at a peace of mind, right? Yeah. And I do the same. You look at your service, you break it down, and you go, how can I improve it? Where's the gaps that I can fill in? And obviously for branding, it's things like this is maybe the color palette that we're going to talk about and kind of bring into the shoot, or hair and makeup, and
it's the first time that someone brought a suitcase to a studio, I was like, what is happening right now? Because a lot of my clients, especially from the birth space, and I did do business branding, but it was very much more an embodied session, very chilled outside in nature. And
what do you see the difference between business branding and the branding you do?
Oh, great question. I feel like I'm very business branding now, more so, because people keep their clothes on. So I used to do a lot of portraits where it was more like out in the forest, or people would put mud all over themselves. Like it was very cool and edgy and different, but now it's like I still want to bring in that bold, edgy, iconic. But I do it with most people keep their clothes on. Cool. I'm here for everything, like whatever works. Like be nude, don't be nude. Like we're all good.
So let me rephrase that question. So obviously there's a whole world of branding out there.
Yes.
But you stand out. So
thank you.
Well, you definitely do. So what do you feel like you do differently? Like so obviously
I don't subscribe to what's been done before.
Oh, great. Yeah, sure.
So because I have come from documentary, I have come from that
that's right. That's
safe place, like, building that rapport, building that trust. I don't know the rules of brand photography. So I'm like, well,
break the rules, hey?
Exactly. I just do it the way that I want to do it, or the way that I would want to be photographed. So I'm like, cool, let's do a little, and I love fashion. I think I've always been a bit obsessed with like editorial and fashion and flicking through a Vogue magazine and like, I just think it's incredible. So I'm like, how can I bring a little bit of that into business branding?
Gotcha.
or how can I use light to evoke emotion, to create a story? Like, you know, the other day we were using like nan lights with smoke machine and like, it's like, how can we push it? Like, get your not stock standard, but can we just get, you know, your headshots and the detail shots for the website and the hero shots and all of that? But then can we do something a little bit creative? Like, how far can we push it, you know?
Yeah, I'm the same. I use lighting the same way where, that's a very theoretical like approach to lighting, right? Where you're going, how can I invoke emotion? How can I, you know, enhance a scene? I do the same with weddings. So
I bet. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's really challenging actually in a wedding where you have a fast-paced nature. But, you know, I look at something and you know, I have my stock stand, you know, so we have a backlight, we have a direct light, you know, we have a side, whatever. You get your basis down, but then as you get better, you might look at the scene and you go, well, this is the moment in front of me, or this is the brand in front of me. How can I use the available light or the artificial light to enhance that? How can I tell a story through the lighting?
Do you love working with hard light?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a big hard light person. Nowadays I just bare bulb my flash sometimes, you know.
So good.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny that, you know, I think through the 2000s and 2010s, like soft lighting was everything, right?
Yeah.
And people kind of forgot like that harsh lighting can be used. Wow, you know.
I love harsh lighting. And I think you asked me what maybe is a bit different. I love putting people right in the sun. Even in the studio, if there's like sun coming down, I'm like, how can I create shadow and have half their face, you know?
Yeah,
Like, meter for the light, easy, done. Like, great.
Yeah, no,
so good.
I agree. I think harsh lighting just has that power to be bold, you know, to tell that kind of story of intensity, I guess, you know. I use it all the time for certain situations, especially, you know, if I'm strobing it. I don't always softbox it, you know. Sometimes I might diffuse it, or I might just with a dome diffuser, very small diffuser, or I might, you know, just kind of direct flash it for that look. For a long time I was obsessed with soft lighting though, you know. It's just like backlight everything, use a 42-inch softbox, use a 24-inch softbox. But the more confident I've become with understanding shadows and understanding light and direction of light, the more I've been I guess confident to explore that with that and, you know, and use it to my advantage. But it takes a long time to get that, you know, down. I think.
If you're listening and you're like, yeah, cool, I'm going to play with hard light, I wouldn't do it at a wedding. Like, you know, you want to make sure that you're feeling comfortable. You're doing it when it's not an actual like high pressure situation.
Yeah. You got to build up to it, I think. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's very delicate, right? Because if you don't do it correctly, you can stuff up.
Yeah. But
especially with sunlight. You know?
100%. Yeah. But a lot of photographers are really scared about shooting in full sun or harsh light. And I'm like, oh, it's so good. I love it. Yeah, so
so you do a bit with Belle and Callan, right? Isabel. And
oh my God, I love them.
Yeah.
They're so cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know her through the Camera Electronic Days.
Yeah.
And she's a vibe. I just get on so well with her. I think she's amazing.
They were actually my first episode.
Cool.
Episode 1, and then they came back on. So yeah, I love them. I think they've been really getting into harsh lighting as well, and shadows and contrast, and using the available light to kind of, you know, just encapsulate the viewer, not just have that bland photo, you know, where it's just like soft. So I'm glad, you know, the trends are moving forward and we're kind of coming out of that era a little bit, and people are beginning to explore a little bit more. Break the rules, people. Photography isn't meant to be boring and the same across
have fun
everyone.
with it, be creative,
be different. That's obviously what Belle's doing really well in her branding and her endeavors in business. So marketing. So you are a big proponent of organic content.
Yeah. 100%.
Me too. I think organic content's everything. I try to convey it to some of my clients, and they just don't understand. They don't see the value in organic content because it's not targeted marketing.
Right.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it's targeted in a way that you have already got people coming into your world that already know you, you know, to some extent. You might not – I think organic content is good for your warm leads, like people that are already in your world. And I think paid advertising is great if you're creating, like, you're getting new eyeballs on you. So that's kind of my little take on that.
So like your brand awareness campaign will be your paid ads, and then
Yes.
your organic content, your hot marketing.
Yeah, 100%. And then, you know, if you're listening to this and you're like, what do you mean I need new eyeballs? I would be like creating a lead magnet, like something to get people to give you their email address, and then you can start nurturing through, you know, the emails. Everyone send emails, please. You need to, if social media went down tomorrow, what would you do? Like, we need emails. And then you can start, you know, do you send out an email once a month?
You mean like an email list?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
100%. Sorry if that was not. I'm like, send emails, people.
So
Emails are
you have
gold.
like a lead magnet that's just like a general sign up here, get my pricing guide, get my makeup guide or branding guide.
Something, not your pricing guide because people want that anyway, but maybe something that, you know, it might be 5 6x4 prints free, or like 10% off, or it depends on what industry you're in and what you're selling. But yeah, definitely something. It could be your 5 secret wedding, you know, spots that you would go to for a photo shoot or whatever it is. I'm moving away from free guides or free things. I actually want people to pay me. So I'm working on low ticket items. I think that you're going to get a higher quality lead rather than people that just want freebies. So yeah, that's my take on that.
Yeah,
Did I answer your question?
Absolutely. So you have organic content over here on your social media that you're kind of using to reconnect with your current audience and remind them you exist and sell. You know, okay. Then you have a lead magnet, that's your cold marketing that you're kind of putting out just to everyone, and then you know they're signing up to get something that you're providing at the time, whatever that might be in the next month or whatever. About the Belle brain.
I'm actually working on a posing guide at the moment.
Great.
For everybody, because people say things like, you know, I'm not a size 8. I don't know how to pose, or just things like that. And I'm like, no, it doesn't matter how tall you are, how short you are, what you look like, you know, we can find poses or work with you, you know? So that's what I'm working on at the moment.
People are going to love that, yeah.
Yeah.
I think posing guides are huge, huge. Okay, and then paid ads as well. So paid ads is so that's your marketing strategy.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
like
sure.
I do a consistent IGTV. Oh no, that's not. I'm not. It's an Instagram live. I'm like,
Instagram
you guys,
live.
that's
Get
how
with
old I am.
Get with the times.
Do you guys remember IGTVs?
I totally do.
Oh my gosh. I was like, I do an Instagram. Yeah.
Good.
Because I think for me, you know, ADHD over here, I need consistency. So I need to show up, like, and then you start to get the same people watching you, and then there's something that sits there, but then you can repurpose that. So I can put that in an email. I can put it on LinkedIn. I can put it on Pinterest if I want. I can put it on YouTube. I think photographers don't utilize YouTube as much as it could be because it's such a great platform, and
Are you on YouTube?
I'm on YouTube, but I'm not great at it. Like,
YouTube's hard.
That's
YouTube
the next.
is the pinnacle of content, I think. If you can get on YouTube.
But it stays there.
It does.
It stays there, and your algorithm is great, and it's like a search engine. Like, I think it's one of the most underutilized.
I wish I had the
platforms.
time to make really good YouTube content. But yeah, it's difficult, you know, like, I probably will go down that route in the future. You know, we'll see how we go. But yeah, I think
just repurpose your content. You've got a podcast. Perfect.
Oh yeah. My podcast is on YouTube.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. All the episodes are on there. Spotify and YouTube, those are the two main platforms that, you know, that I go up on. I think with YouTube content, I would love to get those tutorials up, you know, like, used to watch a lot of, the SLR Lounge. Do you remember, you know, those guys?
No.
Or that couple who do, like, you know, content. There's so many photographers. Digital Rev TV. Have you ever seen those guys? They're great. I'm sure if you.
Is it like education?
Educational content. So I learned pretty much all my wedding photography through YouTube.
Yeah. Wow.
All my business through YouTube. And
I don't watch things. Like, I love going to live workshops. That's what really gets me excited.
Yep.
I remember I went to one of James Simmons' workshops as a, you know, family photographer, and I'm like hey, James, can I come to your workshop even though it's for wedding photographers? He's like, yeah, because I think it's really cool to you learn so much from different genres.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, I'm going to pick up something of like how to communicate like between, you know, two people as well, because I don't usually shoot with more than one person. Or whatever it is, you pick up a lighting trick or you pick up, you know, something to do with your workflow. And I think it's really cool. Sometimes I feel like we box ourselves in and we're
Certainly.
like, I'm a wedding photographer, so I only go to wedding workshops.
Really well said, Belle.
Yeah.
I was really hesitant to start videography because I was like, I'm a photographer. I'm not going to do video. I got into video. I learned about color temperature, gelling.
So different.
And then it is. And then I made a video about using CTO gels with a flash, and I put it on Instagram, and my Instagram, it blew up because no one had talked about it, because no one merged photography and videography lighting. And I started to merge it, and I created this new thing, and that video got like 10,000 likes and hundreds of thousands of views.
So
and
cool.
It was cool, but it was like learning the other discipline and learning what videography is and how I can combine that with photography. All it did was made my photography better. And I think the same thing comes across different fields. Like, I'm not a real estate photographer, but learning how to do real estate photography would probably benefit my photography in some way or another.
Yeah.
You know, there's like so many different facets to our industry. You're never going to be able to do them all professionally, I think, you know, because, you know, I can't do weddings and then real estate photography. It's too different, I think, you know. Well, maybe I could, but I think, you know.
I think you could.
It's very difficult.
It's quite
though, you know?
specialised as well.
It is, you know,
Yeah.
and like, you know, high-end commercial photography, for instance, taking a photo of a bottle of Coke, that's, you know, really difficult, understanding the lighting. And, you know, like I see people on YouTube do it, and it's really different. But I think you can step into that world full times, right? And you can take things from it and you can bring it into your own practice, and you can learn. So yeah, I think, it's definitely, you need to just have an open mind in our industry, right? And just keep learning and never stop.
Keep learning. I say all the time, I'm a perpetual student. Like, just always. I don't think you can ever be an expert at anything. Like, I feel like I even surprised myself. Like, I was editing yesterday and I was like, fuck, that's good. And, you know, sometimes like it's taken a lot for me to say, fuck, that's good. Can I swear on here?
You can swear as much as you like.
I've been quite tame today. My sailor mouth has been in the corner. But I think sometimes like I don't know about you, James, but I've struggled with that, like, I'm not good enough, or everyone else is better than me, or like, oh my gosh, they're showing up and should I be doing that? Or, you know, that comparison and like beating myself up, or, you know, you look at your raws and you think, oh my gosh, like they're shit. But then, I've come to it, like I've worked so much. We were talking a little bit about mindset, but before we got on, and I feel like I've done so much work around those stories and like those limiting beliefs. But so many photographers I know, like we have those patterns of like, you know, we question ourselves.
We're artists, and artists are suffering people internally, right? We're broken and mentally
starving
crazy.
artists. Starving artists,
you know, so we all are, you know, we're insecure people, right? You know, an artist is an insecure person kind of thing, very self-reflective, and you know, and I'm the same. You know, I have these beliefs, but I think that mindset and being able to control that and being able to, you know, just reflect on your ways of working in your life in a positive way and not a negative way can really help your business. That's how you be a good business. I guess a creative business is you really need to be, you know, your mindset needs to be down packed, you know.
And boundaries. You need to have really good boundaries.
You certainly do, because otherwise you're going to, like you said, you're going to fall into that mindset of I'm not good enough. I could be doing this better, or, you know, or whatever else.
Or you burn out. Because you're taking on too many shoots.
Because you're the pressure you put on yourself, and it's a pressure industry. You know, you're as a creative, you're producing images, you're building rapport, you're building a business, you're doing
everything. You're doing the marketing, you're doing the accounting, there's it's a
whole
lot of hats.
It's a whole lot of hats. So I think business mindset is incredibly important, and keeping a level head. For people who are creative, and when you're creative and you just want to explore everything, it can be really difficult to just hone in on that thing and get good at that, and then maybe move to something else. But, you know, just focus. That's what I've struggled with, definitely. It's how do I focus my energy? So what's been some strategies you've used? What's been good for you to really kind of have that strong mindset and to stay focused and to build something great?
Staying focused has been a really big challenge for me. So I don't know about you, but I get into moments where I just don't want to edit. I'm like, I just cannot be bothered editing. Yeah. But things are due, right? And I have time frames. I have really strict time frames, for my clients. So they know when they're going to get their gallery. They know when they're going to get their order, all the things. And I do the Pomodoro method, which is 25 minutes timer. And then the timer goes off, and then it's a 5-minute break. And then I do it again. And that's literally how I get my editing done. So I put binaural beats on, which is like a focus. It's like a really cool, it kind of gets you in a real focus state.
I listen to lo-fi.
Yeah, so you know exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
And then I just turn off emails, turn off my phone, and I'm like, Belle, you just have to sit here for 25 minutes. And I find once I'm actually getting in the flow, it helps. Like I can go, okay, cool, I'm getting through it. And then I get excited because I'm like, yeah, I hate culling, but I'm like, okay, then I get to edit. And what else? Having shoot days. So I shoot Tuesdays, Fridays. So clients will say to me things like, oh, when's your next availability? And I just go Tuesdays, Fridays, and I have a look. My assistant knows that they're the shoot days. It just has become so much easier for me rather than, I've got the whole calendar available. When do you want to shoot? So it's me calling the shots.
Yep.
Yeah, I find they're the two
strong boundary. Like not a lot of people do that. But I think that's really important. I'm definitely going to, when I start to get booked into my studio, that's one thing that I was really like, that's what's going to happen.
Yes.
Is we're going to book it out. I think I said Wednesday to Saturday.
Yeah.
Those are our days. If I'm shooting a wedding on Saturday, then it's Wednesday to Friday. And we're not doing Monday. Those are the days off. Because if you don't do that, then, you're risking burnout, and you're risking 100%. Fatigue.
And taking on too much, you're saying yes when you should be saying no. And clients will wait for you. In my industry, they will. Weddings, maybe not, because it's a date that they usually have beforehand.
It depends where you sit in the market and how you position yourself. I think people are waiting for me now that I've the popularity growth has changed everything for me in the last year.
Awesome.
It's just completely changed it. So I think the first step is definitely become popular. Photography is a popularity contest.
Yeah, because then you can charge more too.
Then you can charge more. So become popular somehow, and then put boundaries in.
Yeah.
But I think early on it's tough.
It really is.
Oh, it's a good fucking
I have
ride.
CEO days as well.
Yeah.
And I don't answer outside work hours.
Yeah.
So people DM you on Insta or, Messenger, Facebook, how many freaking platforms we have. And I just don't reply until I'm in the office again.
Yeah.
So, and then Mondays are my CEO day. So I don't take any Zoom calls. I don't do podcasting. I don't do anything else. And then that's when I create my content. So I create emails, I schedule, that sort of thing. So just, can you have days where you're just doing one thing?
People are really liking this combo. We've got 5 viewers in at the moment. So let's see if we have any questions or we can provide any advice to them, because a lot of people who do usually watch this podcast are usually starting out in photography.
Oh,
so
great.
people like us, I'm a full-timer now.
Yeah.
You're a full-timer, you've been going for a long time. You've taught photography, you've been around the block. You're really, really well established and good, and you have the privilege to be able to put boundaries in place. And to be able to say to clients, you're going to wait for me.
Yeah.
What do new photographers do though? Like if you're starting out, you can barely get a $2 shoot together.
Yep.
People aren't valuing your work. Like how do you get into the industry? How do you do it?
Okay. So this is what I would say to anyone starting out is, and I have, especially in my Camera Queens program, just shoot whatever you want, shoot anyone you want, make sure that you are constantly showing that you're shooting, and just pretend like you're already booked out 2 months in advance. So if you were already a photographer that's earning whatever your goal is, let's say it's 6 figures, want to earn 6-figure, be a 6-figure photographer, how would a 6-figure photographer run their business? Right? Would they be answering a DM at 12 o'clock at night? Would they be dictating where like is the best light or what time, you know, you might have a family that goes, I can only shoot at 12 o'clock in the middle of the beach. Like, no, that's not going to happen. And I would be making sure you have your Studio Ninja, you have your contracts in place, you have a workflow. Like, just start. Like, make sure that you're acting like you've already got the money and the bookings coming in.
Gotcha. That's really interesting advice and really great advice. So so start as a means to end. So start.
I'm like, what does that mean?
So this is how your business is going to be when you get there.
Yes.
6 figures. Let's start that
100%.
business now
If
and
you need
stick to it and not. So like some advice like I get, or you know, it's just grind, just work round the clock, 24 hours a day, just grind. But you're saying don't do that. Get your practices in place.
No, you can still work as much as, like, I would be shooting as much as you can because your technical proficiency is going to go through the roof. Mm-hmm. And then you're also going to get word of mouth. Another thing I would do is so you send them an invoice, but it's a nil balance invoice. But on that invoice, it says how much that photo shoot's worth and everything that's included. So even if, like, James, let's say I'm starting out and I'm like, James, let's do a headshot, right? Yeah. Let's go. This is what we're going to do. I would still send you an invoice that would be, okay, this is a 1 hour headshot session. What's included in that is 25 digitals. They're going to get to you in 7 days. It's $800 worth, whatever it is. Now, this does two things. The first thing it does, it shows the value of your services to your client. Yep. So if that client ever comes back to you, they know that your service is already going to be at least $800, right? And it also stops you from devaluing the marketplace.
Yeah.
And then also if your client does tell someone else, which they will because they're going to absolutely love the session, they're going to love the photos, and that person goes, oh, it was a free session, they go, oh, no, it wasn't. It's an $800 session.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Yeah, I love that.
So I would
That's
do
really,
free.
Really good advice, yeah.
Or I would do portfolio building. So I'd be like, my first 5 sessions are going to be at a 50% off, but you're already thinking, if I'm an $100,000 a year photographer, how much would I be charging for this wedding?
How do you get to that point? And let's put that in now.
Reverse engineering.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Love it.
You got to act like it. You've got to believe it. You've already got to believe that the clients are at your doorstep. You're booked out 2 months in advance. You are getting in the room that has your ideal client. So if you're a wedding photographer, who has your ideal client? Right? You've got venues, you've got caterers, you've got celebrants, you've got wedding designer, dress people, you've got makeup artists, hairstylists, videographers. Do people still do stationery or do they do it themselves? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I would be putting myself in front of those people.
Yep.
Like, how many times do you go to a venue with a beautiful book full of gorgeous wedding photos and go, hey, can I just leave my book here that's got my QR code with my website? You know, meet those people, meet the caterer, meet the people that are going to be at the wedding venue, because that word of mouth is gold.
Word of mouth is the most powerful way to get a book in. If someone refers you and they say you're good, that is just so much more powerful than any other type of marketing you can do.
You've bypassed from cold to hot straight
Absolutely. Away. I think if you can entirely rely on word of mouth, I think that's definitely the best way to go. I think it's difficult to rely on word of mouth though. I've definitely found it very difficult. The thing that I'm trying to do is get into the venues more, build relationships, get onto a referral list. That's something that I'm trying to do now. I think getting to the point where I was even considered to be able to get onto that referral list, I needed to really push.
What did you do?
Social media. So that's what I've been focusing on for the last 2 years. 2 years, a year and a half. A year and a half ago, I had 1,000 followers.
Gosh,
so it's just
great.
It's just
huge growth.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
2 years ago, I did my first wedding video. now all I book is photo and video for weddings. That's all I book.
Congratulations. That's something to be really proud of.
It's been hard. It's been hard, but it was just like focusing and going the end. I kind of did what you said. So I was like, what do I want to do? I want to do photo and video. Yeah. Let's put the steps in place. So I did a free wedding video. I quoted them, but it was like I did it for free, and then I did one for like $1,000 an 8-hour day, which is just, ridiculous, and then pretty much for free. And then, I did,
but you're building your reps,
build it. And then, I built the portfolio. I did wedding editorials. I built the wedding editorial portfolio, and then I did a wedding expo and put the content out there. And then people began to see the work and booked me based on the work I was producing to reproduce it at their weddings. And
brilliant.
I designed the packages, photo and video, offered a 10% wedding expo discount. At the same time, I was growing the organic Instagram content through educational content. So I was building a presence in the professional scene. So the funnel would have been wedding expo or ad, Instagram account, thousands of followers, seeing people interact with my content, website, inquiry, book based on those multiple points of contact. So that's kind of how I built it. And now that I've got to that point, I have now when I go to a venue and they see me work and they see the followers and they see the all of that comes together and they go bang. Referral list. It took a long time though. It was like, do you have any easier strategies?
I think also I did think of an example while you were talking.
It's a long road for me.
Is can you create
1 second, Belle. So Heather, would you be able to help out with photography and videography? Eric, we can help out with a lot of photography and videography. Do you have any specific questions, my man? Or do you need a shoot? $1,000 now. Thanks for jumping in, Eric. So what are you saying, Belle? Yeah.
So in terms of when you are starting out and it is trickier because you don't have a portfolio, how can you create images that you want to show in your portfolio? That's when I would curate it. I would get a hair and makeup artist to do TFP.
That's what I meant by the editorials. I think styled shoots.
That's exactly what I would do. Yeah. And I would also see if I could go to some of these amazing venues. Like, what are your top 3 venues where you live? And can you see if you can go, hey, I'm going to create a 1-minute awesome top-notch video, right? Drone, the whole works. I'm going to gift that to you, but I would love to see, can you put it on your blog or can you, send it out to your email list with my details on it and a couple of my stills or whatever it is, and get your mate who's a videographer. It doesn't have to be this big, expensive thing. How can you trade services with people in your industry? Yeah. And if you're like, Belle, I don't know anyone in my industry, they're going to be your biggest assets. How can you find those people? There's Facebook groups. I'm sure there's, in person.
Connect with people online. That's such good advice.
Communities.
That's such good advice. Definitely do that. If you the Ritz-Carlton's one I love. So if you can do that for the Ritz-Carlton. Just pop in and be like. Even just pop in, chuck your giant camera on your desk, pretend like you're doing work. And then when they, the manager comes past, be like, hey, and they'll be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Just do whatever, meet people, right?
And
fine.
Bring cookies, do something, bring chocolates. People are just people. Even if they work at the Ritz-Carlton, the Crown, wherever you want to go, the state buildings, go and introduce yourself. I know we've been chatting for a long time.
So long. We've been going so long. It doesn't even feel that way. We're approaching an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
It's been so much fun, Belle. What good mindset. I think I think we touch on one more thing. I think that is just fantastic. What you just said is just bang on the money. Build relationships, put your boundaries in place, start as an ends to means. So, look at where you want to be, your 6-figure business, set that up from the ground up. Start with your practices to begin with and your processes to begin with. Make them fundamentally good, which is what I didn't do. And I'm getting like stung now pretty hard. Well, not now, but a couple of months ago I got stung. So listen to Belle. If you're starting out, just do it. Just put the money into it, put the time into it, and set up your routine so you're not going to burn out. Because burning out's tricky. You know, if you overwork yourself, you shoot 7 days a week, you don't give yourself breaks, you're not going to get to your 6-figure businesses, because you're just going to end up hitting a roadblock. You're going to crash, you're going to burn, and you're probably going to take 20 steps back when you've taken 5 steps forward. Yeah.
You're going to miss emails, you're going to piss people off, you're going to stop, you know, like the amount of times I've messaged other creative industries and they don't get back to me. I'm like, are you fucking serious? You're running a business. How is this a problem? Like, have a VA. Like, you can literally hire VAs super cheap now. They don't need to be doing 20-hour weeks. They can literally do 2 hours a week and just have this is probably so basic, but an autoresponder. Like, so many people, an inquiry goes through and they don't even have like when I'm going to get back to them or whatever it is. Like, there's little things that you can do with AI now as well that you can just like create a business that's going to work for you.
Just realised you're wearing an Adidas suit.
Yeah, I'm a big cool Adidas, sponsored by Adidas. Adidas, no, just joke. That's one of my.
That's
how
awesome.
cool is it?
That's pretty awesome. I need one of those. All right. So I just have one more question, because maybe you can help me out a little bit, because it's more like a sales for let me ask a question. So I struggle with because I'm moving into the branding space. I have a couple of clients. I don't have my business set up, but I work with people, and a lot of the time it's producing organic content, but they don't see the value in organic content because it's content you're putting out. It just goes out to everyone. There's no targeted strategy, so you don't know who's going to see. You don't know it's not a measurable impact. So what is it? Because you produce organic content for people. Why is organic content good? What about it, other than So yes, you connect with your your warm audience, but like, why do organic content? Why not just do paid ads? Let's say.
Yeah, I think with organic content, like the amount of bookings, first of all, I just want to say your marketing strategy is 4 to 6 weeks in advance. So if you're getting leads now, think about what you were doing 4 to 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And if you're not getting leads, it's like, shit, did I have a break 4 to 6 weeks ago? What was I doing? I'm going to get off the tangent here. Let me go back to
organic content.
Organic content, and so many times people book me and they have never liked it. They don't like my stuff. They don't comment. They haven't shared. And I'm like, how did you know me? And they're like, I've been following you for 2 years.
Yeah.
I've just been waiting for the time I needed headshots.
Yep.
And so things like that, or I spoke at an event 3.5 years ago.
Yep.
She inquired with me last week. What are we today? Tuesday. She inquired with me 2 weeks ago. We shot her last week. She paid in full because I'd already done all the work. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And I talk to people like what they want to know. So when I'm thinking about my content, and we can all do this better, I'm sure, but I think about personal. So what's more me? How can I be the most silly, dorky, quirky person? Because I am. When I'm at a photo shoot, that's me. I just show up as me. Then I think about educational. So like, what do my clients need to know before booking a shoot? So do they need to know that I shoot with lights, with natural light? Like, where are the best places to go for outside? What time of day? All of those sort of things. And then I also think about showing really good content, whether it be reels or stills, and just talking about things that matter to me as well. Like, who am I? Like, what am I about? What do I love? What do I hate? Like, just showing more of that. So that to me is what my content is meant to do. Like, educate, inspire, and then, show a little bit about who I am and what I do.
Yeah. No, perfectly said. I think that's more or less the same for me. I think it's hard to get clients to see that though, but maybe I'll go down like why I do organic content and why I've invested $15,000 over the last 2 years into it is because it builds a following and it gives you attention, and that's like
fan base.
Everything. It's a fan base, but it's more so it makes you a person, a connectable person online, 100%. Right? And people want to see relatable content, personal content, like like you said. They want to see you active. I think you mentioned early on, you need to be active. You always need to be putting something.
100%.
The lights need to be on in your house, right? No one wants to buy from a dark, dingy house, right? It has to be switched on and bright. And I think you also need to remember that you're building what's called a personal brand. And a personal brand, it appeals to other photographers. It appeals to prospects because prospects see other photographers relate with your content, which gives you reputation. And there's just all of these things that come into play, and you have those silent followers, that just, they're seeing your content come out. And it's just like, eventually they're going to buy from you because that you're reminding them you exist all the time.
You're being front of mind as well. Front of mind. I mentioned about the weekly Instagram live. I don't want to put makeup on and sit there at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday, every single Thursday, and do a quick 5-minute live.
That's so cool.
But I do it because I don't have a consistent content podcast at the moment, and I keep myself accountable for what I'm here to do. And in that, I can play, I can have guests, I can, be the expert in branding because that's what I talk about, how to create a personal brand, or, what's the difference between, I think last week I was talking about brand energy versus artist energy and what the difference is. I can talk about, whether we should shoot on location or in studio and what the difference is. It doesn't matter, but it's that I show up and I'm being accountable to what I'm here to do, which is to impact people through amazing imagery.
But you're also a real person, you're not hiding. You're not hiding. Like, you're in front of the camera, you're making yourself known, and you're there every Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Like, that's just, people see that, and people, you know what I mean? Like,
it's hard though, hey? It's hard. You're doing a podcast. It's a lot of time and effort, and
it's what business is though.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't always see the rewards straight away.
No. Yeah.
But this is content that will last for ages for you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is phenomenal. Like, the podcast has been exceptional. Like, if anyone's like, should I start a podcast or should I get into podcasting? Should I hire a podcast studio? Yes, you should.
Yeah.
Like my idols, like James Simmons was my idol as a university student, and Tyler Brown, these guys were huge photographers, when I, winning awards and whatever. And, I was coming into the industry in 2016, 2017. 2025 now, I've met them on the podcast, so how crazy is that?
Cool.
It was just like you go from, and just being able to open up all those doors. So yes, you should start a podcast because it allows you to network and allows you to connect with people, and you should do organic content because it gives you attention, and attention is everything in this day and age where there's just so much noise, like
so much noise. How do you cut through that?
How do you cut through it, and how do you stand out? And
by being you.
By being you, yeah. By
There's a question I think I can't see over there.
How do I get over being cringe online? Yeah, people are loving this, by the way. We've had a lot of viewers come through. So Lovebird Media, thanks for jumping in, man, for contributing. I think you've jumped in a couple of times, so good to have you back, man. It's just asked, how do you get over being cringe online?
You just get your reps in.
Just get your reps in, man.
No one ever starts going, I'm a TEDx talk, speaker, and, you say, you don't know where to look. It's
a skill.
It's a skill, and you have to just keep training yourself. And something that you could potentially do is, what do we have? 9 squares on Instagram. Have 8 of those being your photos or video, and then one of them being a personal one about you.
Yeah, great. I really love that.
And do stories.
They've just asked another question as well.
Yeah, cool. I love questions.
Another question's for advice for a husband and wife team whose name aren't the name of the business. How do we create a personal brand when the name's not the name of the business? I think you're in. I think you're actually in a better position than having your name as the business, right? Like your business name can be a business name, and you can still be the face of the business. You know what I mean? Like your business has a personality, and that personality is you. All right. So just because you're Lovebird Media doesn't mean Lovebird Media doesn't have 2 fantastic faces behind the cameras that people can connect with, right?
Yeah. And just something, I love everything that you said. I would make sure that your 3 topped pinned posts on Instagram as well. One is like, who are we? And maybe invest in like a speaker reel, like not a speaker reel, like a brand story that you can have on your website. So as soon as people inquire with you, it goes to maybe another landing page and it has a video of you two talking, BTS, like of you at a wedding, things that maybe people have said, like you could cut to your clients and like things that people have said. You can almost do like like I would hire a couple if there was like bloopers, like showing their personality, like them laughing, you know, like all the fun things. I'm sure lots of things happen at a wedding. But yeah, I definitely think you can create a personal brand even if you don't have your names as the company.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think it's essential at all. No. I think you're in a better, like that's a mistake I think I made, to be honest, was having my name as my business name.
I don't think it's a mistake. I think it's like, if you want my opinion, I think it's cool in terms of people will always know your name straight from your business name.
Yeah.
But I also think as long as you're injecting your personality with everything that you do, and you're not just having boring ass, you know, autoresponder or a boring ass workflow that's like, hey, we've got our engagement shoot. Like, how can you bring your tone of voice into everything you do? That's how you cut through the noise. Like, I've just created a new website because I moved to show it. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I love it. And the comments I'm getting about my website is it's exactly like you're showing up through all your, like, you know, slides and my templates and everything that I do. It's my website's a reflection of that. So if I had a boring ass, vanilla, basic bitch fucking website, like every other person that does what I do, then people would be like, there's a disconnect from how she shows up online and social media.
You won't stand out as well.
I want to stand out.
Yeah.
So my website doesn't look like any other brand photographer's website.
Absolutely not.
You know?
I don't know if I've seen your new one, but I've seen your current one. Or when is your new one?
Yeah, I've been working on my website. No, it's current now.
Oh, this current one.
Yeah.
The one with the black. And
yes.
Bolt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the one.
Yeah.
It's excellent. Yeah, your branding is spot on. We should call it off though.
I think we need to wrap it up.
Because I was going to go on.
Wrap it up. I could talk. I'm Italian. You're Italian. We can talk all day.
It's been an hour and 20 minutes. You know, I'm guilty. I kept Simmons on for 2.5 hours.
Oh my God.
It's fangirling too much.
You were just,
Even
I was going to say,
yeah.
you just wanted to lick the inside of his brain.
No, mate. Yeah, it was so much knowledge. So much knowledge from you as well, Belle. And so much knowledge from all the guests I had on. Ryan was also phenomenal. You know Ryan as well. He was brilliant. I'm hoping to get Duncan on, but I think Duncan's a bit
amazing.
Bit camera shy. Duncan. What would you say to Duncan? If I was
I want to talk to him about the days where we literally just like
should we do a 3-person
roll
podcast?
Tobacco and we would talk about the other and Nan Golden and Sally Mann and
Nan Golden's great.
Very much about
Nan Golden's the one who photographed all the junkies and stuff.
So she was heavily involved in the LGBTQIA plus movement back in the 80s and there was like heroin addiction and all the opioid crisis actually. But really incredible. Her work is actually
insider
up at Curtin.
Perspective, right? You know, coming from the insider point of view, so you know you become inside a community, then you can document it from a true kind of point of view. Yeah, Tony, my tutor was huge. You would vibe with Tony. Tony's she's a mean bitch.
Yeah, cool.
You would put it, you know.
All right, we'll have to chat afterwards. But thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's been a vibe.
It's been an absolute vibe, Belle. Thank you so much. We'll wrap it up. Audience, thanks so much for jumping in, holding in there. We've had a really good viewer retention today, so people really enjoyed the conversation. Like always, guys, so this episode is supported by Rode. Rode gear is bang on. I use all their stuff all the time. Just get on if you are going to buy any audio gear. Other than that, thanks so much for watching. Peace out, everyone.
Thank you.